How's it going, everybody? This is the Uncanny Omar. Welcome to the Epic Collection announcement. It's been a few months since the last time we did this. In this time around, we're going to be focusing on August and September of 2025. And I can't ever do this alone because with me, as always, is Garth. No, I'm just kidding. Curtis. Curtis, what's up, buddy?
Hey, I am so happy to be back and so happy to be here with you. Thank you, as always, for hosting and organizing this whole thing because it's a bunch of work behind the scenes to get this all ready to go.
Well, thank you for putting the slideshow presentation together. It's wonderful, and you do that every time. So yeah, it's a lot of fun to get to announce this. You know, I could do these as like my breaking news videos with my suit, but I have a lot more fun talking about these books, and I know how people get excited over the announcements, whether in the end it's something they wanted or not. And I see a lot of people guessing what's going to be on here. So keep that in mind. This is the first 2 months of the next catalog, August and September. Some things may change. As a matter of fact, the original list that I got for Curtis, one of the books has been taken out, and now we're looking at this. So they could add reprints and they could add other things in these 2 months as they wish. I think we have one book from our announcement, the last batch, that was not in the catalog, and it looks like it's been moved now. So we do have news on where and when that is moved to.
That's right.
And a big thank you, seriously, to David Gabriel and all his team for sending me the information and getting the covers. Like, as we are talking right now, they're still choosing covers. So something that you're going to see here is just a placeholder of an image to come. So make sure you follow us on social media or follow Curtis's group on social media, which I think James is already the Epic Marvel Podcast.
That's right. Epic Marvel. Well, you search up Epic Collections on Facebook, the Epic Collection Speculation and Discussion Group, Discussion and Admiration.
That's what it is. There we go. Thank you so much. And yes, happy holidays, Merry Christmas if you celebrate. To everyone out there, thank you. I'm glad I got to do this before Curtis went on vacation. I was like, okay, we got to get this out. So let's see how much we can get. And here we go. There will be another batch of announcements, but that probably won't come until early next year. And that will be
when does the catalog go live?
I think it's February, if I'm not mistaken. And that will be October, November, December of 2025 and January of 2026.
2026. That's right.
Which is insane to think about, that we are looking at January of 2026 when 2024 is not even over. But that's just the way the catalogs work, right? That's just they're way ahead.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yeah, and most of that is because of the book market. It's not because of the direct market.
Correct.
The book market requires longer lead time for the distributor to sell the books to the book market, to bookstores and whatever. And so that's why it used to be that we used to do announcements that were much sooner to the release date. But once Marvel got the distribution deal with Penguin Random House, they started pushing things out a lot further because that's what Penguin Random House has requested.
Yeah, that's exactly the reason why we get these so early. Time for the Marvel Finest announcement. I need news on the Punisher line. So long since the new Epic, please. Well, I think there's always what's the ones that we keep seeing? Amazing Spider-Man 16, I think, is the most popular one. Now, it used to be 6. It used to be 26. And now it's 16. Yeah. Yes, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. X-Men by Chuck Austin Epic Collections. It's so weird to have Chuck Austin and Epic in the same sentence. Give me that X-Force Volume 1 reprint, baby. My stereotypical 90s well. I can't remember. The X-Force Volume 1, did it have the New Mutants 98, 99, and 100?
No, it does not. That's in the final volume of New Mutants only.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen that. Is this Bill Jamas right here asking for Marvel?
Can we get Marvel and Trouble in the same volume?
Last year, the catalog went live January 18th. Woo, really?
Okay, wow.
Okay, well, we
might be pushing it in January, early January.
Yeah, and I still need to do the Omni announcements. But okay. let's go ahead and get started. And please don't forget to hit that like button. Throw fight bolts. Wow. Lazar's full of thoughts. That's okay. All right. We knew about this one, but it is now coming out in September of 2025. And it is the entire series. This was released as a omnibus before, right? If I'm not mistaken. I think it was an omnibus, but it doesn't say omnibus on the spine.
So does that just make it an OHC?
Sure, but I think it is labeled an omnibus. All right, Curtis, let's go ahead and get some new stuff in there.
Okay, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Modern Era Epic Collection, Volume 2, Spider-Man No More, which is actually the same title as the classic Spider-Man Epic Collection, Volume 3. Spider-Man No More. This is collecting Ultimate Comics Spider-Man 13 through 28 and 16.1. Marvel wasn't able to finalize a lot of these covers before we went live, so we have just placeholders for these, but the contents are confirmed straight from Marvel.
That's right. So the Zolt, I don't want to hear it, Zolt. I don't want to hear your hate of modern epic collections, because guess what, Zolt? 20 years from now, that's going to be classic, and you're going to have to buy it. I said what I said. The ultimate
He's going to be
line,
disappointed a lot. He's going to be disappointed a lot in this live stream.
Please don't say that. But Zolt always tries to find the good in things. I hope. Okay, so we have Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men that are coming out in epic collections, but they're not modern era epic collections. They're just epic collections, right?
That's right. I think because Miles Morales is after the Cataclysm event, I think, or the Ultimatum event, whatever that one is. There's kind of a distinctive line between old, Ultimate Universe and kind of the new rebranded one when they all called it Ultimate Comics, not just Ultimate Spider-Man. So this one is modern era for sure. And Miles Morales doesn't stay in the Ultimate Universe for very long before he jumps to 616. And so this is not going to be, an Ultimate collection.
I don't even think in 20 years' time. I think in 10 years' time, these are going to be rebranded. Of course, that's the wonderful marketing, right? It's like you can just go back and reprint the books, and they're like, wait, let's just renumber it to a classic era epic collection.
I mean, that's true. Like, so the Daredevil Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 1 is the Guardian Devil story, right? With the first Marvel Knight story. That's 1997 or 98 or something, right? That's already 30 years old. Almost 30 years old.
And it's modern? Don't say that. God bless. All right.
Yeah.
Let's now, for people wondering, wasn't there another Miles Morales? We did announce Miles Morales Volume 3, and we're going to look at where that has landed now in the new, or in this catalog. Young Avengers Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 2, Dark Reign. This has been collected before in the omnibus of Young Avengers, and it takes place after the original series, but before the childhood, the follow-up series. So it does feature the Alan Heinberg and Jim Chung characters of like Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, and that's what you're getting in here is a bunch of miniseries, because they did not have an ongoing series for the books. Like there wasn't a Young Avengers ongoing series. Children's Crusade. Thank you so much. That's what it was called, not the Child's. I was thinking of Childhood's End for some reason. So,
yeah, it is interesting that it's all tie-ins basically to other events, and so I wonder. Other people may have read this. Does it read well, just being a series of tie-ins to other events, larger events? I'm not sure. We'll have to find out. I'll find out.
I think for the most part, it was like Zeb Wells and Paul Cornell that ended up writing most of the stuff in here. The Young Avengers Presents, that was a series of different writers tackling the characters, and each one spotlighted a different character. I thought it was solid. Like, I thought it was a good way of telling the progression of the characters in different miniseries, kind of like the way that Renee Montoya, her story after Infinite Crisis was being told through a few different miniseries. This is the way that you get your Runaways, like the characters getting together and relationships building. They read fine on their own, honestly. You don't like Civil War is just the Young Avengers meeting the Runaways. It's not like they're playing a big part. Dark Reign, I don't even the Dark Reign mini. I don't think it even acknowledges the Dark Reign that's going on everywhere. I think at one time it was just a plot for an ongoing series, and then they were like, "Yeah, we'll just tie it in here."
Okay, well, if that's all it is, then that's awesome. That's great.
There is no Runaways Epic Collection. I find that interesting because Warren likes it. Oh my gosh. Warren doesn't like anything. That's crazy. Okay. Weird. Yes, thank you. A rare Warren seal of approval. He hates everything. Thor, Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 3, The World Eaters, collecting Thor 615 to 621, 620.1, The Mighty Thor 1 through 6, and Free Comic Book Day 2010. Now, have you read any? Because I know it's modern, but this was a while back. Have you read any of this stuff, Curtis?
No, I've been going through it for the first time in Epic Collection. In fact, I'm in the middle of reading Volume 2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the Kieran Gillen era, right? Does he go all the way through the Mighty Thor?
No.
Or is this Matt Fraction now?
This is post Kieran Gillen. This is when Matt Fraction, because Matt Fraction actually wrote The World Eaters. There's a really cool issue in here that has like the return of classic Thor artist in the book to celebrate the anniversary. But yeah, this is Matt Fraction, Pasquale Ferry, I think, drawing the majority of it, of the ending of the Thor. And then when it's revamped to Mighty Thor, it's Matt Fraction writing it, and then Olivier Coipel drawing the story. But yeah, this is the Matt Fraction era of Thor. That's what's in here. And the Free Comic Book Day Iron Man Thor,
which is also in Iron Man Modern Era Stark Disassembled.
Yes, but I think only the Iron Man story, if I'm not mistaken, right? And then this will have the Thor story. At least that's the way.
It's the same story. They're both in that story together.
Oh, okay.
I just read it the other day.
What is the thinnest epic so far?
Planet of the Apes.
Man, yeah. One guess. Yeah.
I've got one down here.
Axel, how are you? Complete collection moment. Was this released as a complete collection? I had these as skinny trades, and then I've got the omnibus. They do Thor like DC, kind of restarted, but the issue numbers continued. Yes, it's still the ongoing story. So I can't really compare it to DC because there is a big difference between Superman #1 from the New 52 and Superman #1 from Rebirth, or when it goes back to that numbering system, because it's a different character. Be interesting to see how much, if any, of the Fear Itself series goes into the next volume. I will say it probably will be mapped different than the omnibus. The omnibus had the whole thing, right? Like, but it didn't have the Fearless, which is like the aftermath. And I can't imagine where else that would be collected in.
Maybe
how is the Fraction era of Thor? I don't hear people talk about it as much. Well, there is a saying, can't say anything nice. And those are my thoughts on that. You asked my opinion. I was not a fan. Beautiful, beautiful artwork, though. Absolutely beautiful artwork. My buddy Peter actually loves Fear Itself, I think. I don't want to quote him. I think he actually likes Fear Itself.
Yeah, I think that's what he said.
Oh, yeah. ROM Epic Collection, the original Marvel Years Volume 2, for the people that were worried, like, oh, man, they better do more than just 1 or 2. So here's Volume 2, scheduled for August of 2025, collecting ROM 21 through 33, annual #1, and Power Man and Iron Fist 73.
There we go.
What makes that book so special?
Well, it has ROM in it, basically. So when the Power Man and Iron Fist Epic Collections came out, they couldn't print all of issue 73. They only printed some of it. because most of it had ROM in it, and they didn't have the license for the ROM character at the time. So this is going to be the only place to get, or other than the omnibus, to get Power Man and Iron Fist 73 in its complete glory.
That is true. That is true. That is the only place to get it. I don't think, people were speculating whenever the very first announcement of ROM. I remember people in the comments going, "Oh my gosh, they can reprint the Masterworks, they can reprint the Epic collections and add issues of Micronauts and ROM." And yeah, they're not gonna do that, unfortunately. I think it's just
I don't think so.
strictly. It is really cool that we're actually getting it, though, right? Like, they must have worked that deal out, so that's great. Have you haven't read ROM yet, right, Curtis? Because it's an
I've
omnibus.
read the odd issue. Yeah, I've read the odd issue here and there over the years, but no, I haven't read it from start to finish. So this is going to be my introduction to it. And oh yeah, there's a good idea. Fear itself event
Yeah,
epic, like
and
Annihilation.
that's where you could thank you for the super chat. Welcome to Earth. Love it. It's Will Smith smacking Chris Rock. That's where you can put the Fearless. And well, no, actually, the Fearless does lead into, what is it? The Valkyrie and the Fearless. Maybe that can go together. There's all these obscure like miniseries from these events that need to be collected.
Those event epics would be fantastic for that. So what I'm really happy about is that we're getting volume 2 pretty close, hot on the heels of volume 1. Like, they are going to, if they keep up this pace, it'll be quarterly, which is great, or maybe 3 times a year, which is just fantastic. Because then we can get all of it out before any license expires.
Oh man, I bought the Gillen Thor run trade, then updated the JMS Omni when it came out. For those who wanted that trade included in it, you're welcome. Sacrifices Mr. Tex made. Now, Warren, you like the most obscure things. ForceWorks, I love ForceWorks, so I would love that, dude. Why not? It would be an all-in-one, right? They released what was it? Avengers West? No, it was Iron Man ForceWorks. Like trade paperback.
I think it was called Avengers Iron Man ForceWorks.
Yeah, and then the rest of it was collected in the Crossing because it just comes to an end.
Yeah,
I'll do a ForceWorks reading order just for Warren. Yes, to wow. All right, there's ForceWorks would be 2 epics. It didn't last that long. Are you including all of the Crossing, Philip?
You could there's also the Hands of the Mandarin story. Does that include ForceWorks? There's another big crossover.
There was
not as big as the Crossing.
Brother in Arms. That was a crossover. I mean, yeah, they could put it in too. What is ForceWorks?
Honestly,
go ahead, Kurt.
Well, ForceWorks is when Marvel was going all edgy with in the 90s, and they changed New Mutants to X-Force. They had a spin-off of Fantastic Four called Fantastic Force, and then they changed Avengers West Coast to ForceWorks.
It was the extreme era of the 90s, is the word you're looking for. Everything
extreme, that's right.
Big,
and it didn't like. Avengers West Coast was sinking in sale, so they were trying to do something to boost it, and so they tried to rebrand it with a new extreme title, and not edgy, extreme, and it didn't last for very long. It didn't boost the numbers like they wanted it to, and I think it ran something like 22 issues or something. I would be fine if they. Book. Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it was Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning. What's
true.
not to like about those guys? Like, and it had a character named Century. I thought that dude was really cool. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And Jim Chung did a lot of the designs early on for the characters. By extreme, you mean fire? Hells yes, Mr. Tex. You know what I meant by extreme. Bought the G.I. Joe Compendium on sale for $40 Canadian through Amazon, but then Canada Post. Oh yeah, I've heard about this post strike. Has it affected you at all, Curtis?
Oh, absolutely. I sent my passport in to get renewed through the mail, and now it's stuck in limbo. I had to go down to the office and get it in person. But Amazon in Vancouver, at least, has its own courier system. Like, they have their own drivers, so Amazon hasn't been affected for me at all. It doesn't go through Canada Post.
Doug, how are you doing, buddy? Yes, the ROM issue with or the Power Man and Iron Fist ROM issue that is included in the omnibus. I
I would
think
imagine so. Yeah.
Curtis said that this is the only place you're going to get it, and the omnibus is what he was saying. Yeah, we
Yeah.
got you. We got you. Every time I hear the word extreme, the Harold and Kumar go to White Castle movie comes to really. Yes, thank you, Alex. I love Tom. Is it Tenay? Is that how you pronounce his name? I love his artwork, and yes, the guy disappeared from drawing comics after that. Because I remember after I got that trade paperback, I went to the internet and tried to find out where he went. All right, let's get to some classic stuff. Curtis.
Fantastic Four Epic Collection Volume 12, The Possession of Franklin Richards. Fantastic Four 215 to 231 plus Fantastic Four Annual 14 and 15, making our way, barreling down toward the John Byrne era. Not quite there yet, but closing that gap.
You're almost there, and that's going to be glorious because that stuff has never been reprinted in epic format. Move on to the next one. Yes, Mega Man. Yes, sir. Curtis and I like to talk. Sorry. It's like a conversation with you fine people. Look, Phil Owens is happy. Wait till you see the next 7 books with nothing but Venom, brother. What's up, Sam? How are you, my brother? Fingers crossed for X Factor. We need a volume 5 of X Factor?
Yeah, 5 and 6. We got volume 4. We need volume 3, 5, and 6 of X Factor. Okay, go to the next slide and show them the back cover of this one.
Yes, Mega Man.
There we go.
The Possession of Franklin Richards. This is Doug Mensch era, right? Yeah, it says right there. Doug Mensch.
Doug Mensch.
And
Bill Sienkiewicz.
But this is John Byrne art, not him writing the stories. It wasn't when he took over the book. It's just a little bit of his artwork. That's
right. Yeah, he had a little short stint before he got full control. And so that's in here.
I'm surprised Sienkiewicz got top billing there. I don't think he did that many issues, from what I remember, because it also has annuals 14 and 16. Thank you so much. Welcome to Earth. Power Man and Iron Fist Volume 2 probably get the reprint with the ROM crossover. Unfortunately, no.
I kind of doubt it. They're not. I don't think that they'll make a new edition of that book, and then the license will expire. And if they want to redo it, they'll have to reprint the old edition. I'm pretty sure they'll just stick with the mapping that they have and leave that one for the ROM epic.
See, Schultz, there's one thing in here for you. Just one. There we go. Just one thing. So far, where's Godzilla? That is an excellent question. We know that will probably come, right? I mean, we're getting Micronauts. We got ROM. So we know that will probably come. Let's move on. Please have work meeting in 40. Cancel it, Martian. 45 minutes. We won't be done. Yes, we will. All right. Actually, we don't have much in August, do we?
That's it for August.
Yeah, that's it. And you're right. It is 2 classic eras of the Fantastic Four in the same year.
That's right.
This book is not a epic collection, and I'm really surprised they did not take the time to rebrand it as a event epic, because it is just a reprint of the X-Men Age of Apocalypse.
And in our previous announcements, we saw reprints of Volume 1 and 2, so now here comes the reprint of Volume 3. This is the only reprint we have to talk about today. They didn't tell us about any other reprints coming out in these months. I think they haven't decided that yet.
Yeah, those I think those will be decided as soon as we find out. I promise. Either Curtis and I will do an episode, or we'll put it into the next thing. Omar, what size are the Marvel Masterworks books? They are the trim size of a trade paperback. Same trim size as a single issue. But just they look a little bit taller because the pages are put on a hardback, but it's the same trim size. Don't tell them to hurry up. You'll get shot. Oh, Dark and Ginger, remember that one time. Hey, what's up, Dive Collectors? How you doing, Johnny? Will we be getting Age of Apocalypse reprint volumes? I have the old 4-part epics. Yes, that's what these are.
No, he says, I will be getting the AOA reprint volumes.
I'm sorry, I read you. Oh, Uncanny Omar, read pretty one day. Hey, what's up, man? How are you doing, Mike? So happy DC has finally caught on to this format. We are too. They're cranking them out. And not cranking out just Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. They're cranking out like obscure things, and not even Legion of Superheroes obscure, but like the science. What was it? The science book.
Science fiction, yeah. No, it's fantastic. I love it.
Age of Apocalypse turns 30 next year, and why
Okay,
would you
well there you go.
Martian Pilgrim? And just like that, no, the Punisher comment. What was the Punisher comment? What was the Punisher comment?
About Punisher Epic Collections.
Watch DC. This chat, please stop.
Okay, let's keep going.
I don't think they're done. It's just been a while. I mean, there was a long time in between with Nick Fury Epic Collections. There was
and Defenders.
years.
There's a big gap in Defenders, and they're putting out Marvel's putting out their Punisher Omnis and stuff. So it's not like they're done with the character. They're just
don't apologize, man. We still need a lot of lines. There's still where's the New Warriors? I think I'm the only one asking for that, but we still need a lot of lines. What do you mean, Legion of Superheroes Obscure? Unsubscribe. Yeah, right, Phil. You're gonna see this through the end. Mr. Dex, thank you so much for the super sticker, my friend. But Punisher's a very popular character. I think, look, here's the thing. They've done reprints. And we're getting trade paperbacks of his new series. We got reprints of the just about every one of his Omnis, with the exception of the Back to the War. So I'm sure there will come a time when we get more Punisher stuff. Where's Alf? The real questions. All right. Let's keep on moving. Yes, they've reprinted one of the Epic Collections. What was it, Curtis? The Kingpin?
Circle of Blood. Circle of Blood they reprinted. Yeah.
Okay. Spider-Man, Deadpool, Modern Era, Epic Collection, Volume 3, Road Trip, collecting issues 33 to 50. And I think, does that wrap up the series? I can't remember how long the series
does. Yep, this is the final volume. So this is the first Modern Era Epic Collection to be complete, as far as I know.
I hate you, Warren. If there will be a New Warriors, I will buy it just because of you. Thank you. Solid. Curtis, how many? Mike wants to know, is there a Generation X Epic Collection?
There are 4 of them out now.
How many more do we need to wrap up the series?
We'll need 2 more to wrap up the series. They've been coming out pretty steady, 1 per year.
War Journal would be so awesome, especially since like Jim Lee did a lot of the early artwork. Oh my gosh. All right. Moving on to the next book. The Amazing Spider-Man Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 14. Big time. Is that right? 14?
That's right. They're jumping way ahead to the very start of the Dan Slott era. Amazing Spider-Man 648, the A story, plus 649 to 662 and 654.1.
We don't even have this in omnibus format. Dang it. Epics beat us again.
This is so what I think they're kind of treating they're treating this like they do with the classics, where there's one of the early years and there's one volume from the later years, like 2 per year. And I can see them doing this with Spider-Man too, starting with the early stuff of the modern era with JMS, and then also doing a subsequent Dan Slott line. So we had 2 of them per year, something like that.
Me too. What that in omnibus format? Holy moly. Oh my gosh, that means they have mapped these out all the way. You know what really would have destroyed people is if we had announced Amazing Spider-Man Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 16 instead of the classic.
That would have been really funny.
People would have been yelling at me like I had something. Okay, I may have something to do with that. That is kind of funny.
But it's the volume before this, volume 13, that isn't collected in a thick trade. Volume 14, the numbering is very consistent with there you go. Now the numbering here, number 14, is very consistent with the old Red Spine thick trades. So if you did that through the JMS stuff, through the Brand New Day trades, plus New Ways to Live, that thick trade, and the 2 Gauntlet thick trades, that takes us up to volume 12. And then there's a short gap of stuff that they didn't collect in that format which would be volume 13, and then it starts with Big Time. So it all lines up. Um, and volume 13, I think, is the one that I would like to get because I have all those Red Spine books, which now I can um, upgrade to Epic Collections. Probably a lot of us will be in that boat.
Get the 2 HCs, so pass for me. Yes, my favorite modern Spider-Man. Oh, that's wonderful,
there
Steve.
You go. I'm glad for you, Steven.
Don't say that, Matt. The omnibus will come first. Yeah, and there's gonna be that's crazy. I thought it was a goof up, man, when I saw volume 14. But you're right. It's gonna take that many volumes to get through Brand New Day. Wow. Okay. Generation X. Where's Mike? Is he still watching? Volume 5, Family Business. Collecting issues 48 through 62. Generation X, Annual 99. X-Man, number 50. And New Warriors, number 5. But it's the New Warriors from 1999.
New Warriors is in an Epic collection there, Omar.
Yeah, but it's not my new hashtag not my New Warriors. This is the one from it was a short-lived series.
It was written by Jay Faerber, and this is the Jay Faerber era of Generation X. He was writing this and New Warriors at the same time, which is why we get that team up. And then Generation X and X-Men have a crossover for both of their 50th issues because they always had the same numbering all throughout their run.
So Generation X went all the way to issue 75, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes. So the next issue will be the Counter X era of Generation X. It starts like this. 63 is the first issue of that.
Brian Wood, right?
Yep.
And what else could they collect in the 6th volume besides those 15 issues?
There are some kind of epilogue issues in X-Men Unlimited, so they could do could do that. And Chamber had a 4-issue miniseries.
That's
X-Men
right.
Icons.
Around the time that Cyclops had his miniseries, because they had all the Iceman, and they had like the old they had the same trade dress for those. Okay,
that's right.
Yeah, those have never. I don't think that Chamber miniseries has ever been collected anywhere. Not that any of these issues that we're looking at here have ever been collected. Because the next ones they've been collected in the Counter X trade paperbacks. Yeah. And Steve Pugh, yeah, that's right. So it's Warren Ellis, Brian Wood takes over the book, and then Steve Pugh doing the artwork. Ron Lim, I think, does some of the artwork too.
Yeah, he finished up the series.
Just curious, when was the last time either of you bought a physical floppy comic? I just bought one this summer. At New York Comic Con. It was, what was it? Oh, it was issues of Akira that I was missing, and did I put them down here? I better put them down here. I can't remember where. My brain has been in a weird
Just
place.
the other day, I bought about 14 issues of Zot to complete my collection of Zot.
Scott McCloud.
So, yep, I buy a lot of single issues still. It's just not current stuff. It's all old stuff from like the 80s and before that.
If you mean current stuff, I did pick up what was it? It was one of the Void Rival things that they were doing. I did pick that up, and I think it was Ultimates 4 or 5. Whatever the big hype was about, everybody was like, go and read it, and I finally read it, and I'm like, oh, that's why people wanted me to read it, because it was going to be spoiled for me by the time the trade paperback came out. So that was the last one. Who said boring? Did you say boring about Generation X? Yeah, this stuff wasn't that good.
This isn't my favorite volume of Generation X. Jay Faerber, he had some good ideas, and I don't think that they got executed quite well. He's a TV writer, and I don't know how much comic books he did outside of just Generation X and New Warriors, but he went back to TV after this, and he was one of the big writers on the Supergirl TV series.
Oh, really? I had no idea. Yeah. He was another one of these creators that disappeared. Chamber also appeared in Generation M. We will not summon that book because it was love Norse Fantastic Four. Yes, that is so good. So good. Old stuff from the 80s. That hurts, Kurt.
I'm from the 80s and my back is sore, so I will say that I am old stuff from the 80s as well.
Doug, wait until the kids are like, you were born in the 1900s. That's crazy.
Yes. Yep.
Where are the reprints from the reprint poll? They haven't been chosen yet. So we don't have any reprints yet. So that will be another part of maybe another announcement. I'll reach out hopefully before Christmas, because if the catalog is really in January 12th, I thought it was in February. Oof, that's a lot of announcements back to back, but they're still choosing covers and stuff. Guardians of the Galaxy Epic Collection Volume 3 Homecoming, collecting Guardians of the Galaxy, the Jim Valentino era 7 through 20, Guardians of the Galaxy Annual Number 1, and the material from Fantastic Four Annual 24, Thor Annual 16, Silver Surfer Annual Number 4. And the cover to be revealed.
Yeah. What was that annual story called? It was the one where the Guardians of the Galaxy are jumping all over the place.
Oh
and
gosh,
they meet up with these characters.
it's in the I think it's in the Silver Surfer Epic Collection, isn't it?
Not all of it is, because all of those stories I think are kind of standalone. So
Is it not the Korvac saga? But it's the Korvac. Oh gosh, like Korvac Quest. Thank you. I should have looked in the chat.
Korvac Quest.
Thank you all. Thank you, Korvac.
Yeah. There it is. The Korvac Quest.
Yeah, I know not all of it is, but it'll be collected here.
Yeah, this will probably be maybe the only place that it'll be collected in
full.
Bob's
saying he got the date from the L device. There's a chance they put a placeholder catalog in and don't populate it completely until later. I'll find out, but thank you so much, because I know that, I try to make the announcements as soon as they get their information. So coming in late, but happy Epic Day, everyone. Thank you. What a wonderful, wonderful. Every time I get an email, I'm like, oh, is it the covers? No. Something else. Thank you so much for that super chat. I'm from the 80s too. Get off my lawn. Isn't it part of the Korvac Quest? It is, not the Corvette Quest. The Korvac Quest. This is my Guardians of the Galaxy, the Jim Valentino era. Yeah. Are you also going to get the era that was? Who was the writer on the book after was it Ben Rabb? I can't remember who took over Guardians after, because it's been collected in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah, in the year 3000.
Yeah. That actually had artwork by Herb Trimpe, and it looks so different than his work, because he was just, trying to keep up with the extreme times. Let's go to the next book, and that is the Micronauts, the original Marvel years, Epic Collection Volume 2, Home Sweet Home World, collecting Micronauts 21 through 35, Micronauts Annual Number 2, and the material for Marvel Preview 4 and 7. And
yeah, so just like ROM, it's coming quickly, hot on the heels of the previous volume, which is great. They hopefully will be able to wrap up this series pretty quickly, and they are not skimping on the contents either. Can you go back to that one? What did it?
Micronauts 21 through 35, Annual Number 2, and the material for Marvel Preview 4 and 7.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So 15. Maybe it's not quite a full epic, but it's not a slim epic either.
Jumping the gun. Sorry about that. Somebody was asking about ROM. Why does ROM not have a subtitle? Omar, Curtis, do we know why Micronauts have a subtitle but ROM doesn't?
I don't know. They just decided to call it the original Marvel Years Volume 1, Volume 2, and they didn't do that with Micronauts. No idea why.
So Age of Apocalypse is not an epic, but related. Critique epic sides. It would be, I really think it would have been cool to reprint them just as like event epics, like they're doing with Annihilation. That trade paperback is coming back as an event epic. Omar, send X-Men Micronauts 1 through 4 to the printer and pay them all that near mint condition money to include it. How much do you think I make making YouTube videos? Not that much. Oh my gosh, I would love that, dude. But then we have to have like the art restored, right? It's not gonna look as slick as the other ones. Oh my gosh. All right. You all saw it. Ghost Rider Epic Collection Volume 3, Death Rays, coming in September of 2025. So collecting Ghost Rider 29 through 50, Marvel Team Up 91, and then material from What If 17 and Marvel Tales 256. This has been collected before in a Marvel Masterworks format, but this is the first time it's available in an Epic Collection. 2 cents per video. Dude, I can't even do the math right now. Like how many views I would need, it's the algorithm is so whack, I swear. The one and only Ghost Rider. That's not Danny Ketch, Phil Owens.
I was thinking that we were going to get a Danny Ketch volume this year because we got the original Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider Epic, and then the next year we got the Danny Ketch, and then the next year, which is this year, we got volume 2 of the Johnny Blaze. So I thought we would get another Ketch one, like they would alternate, but we're getting this one instead. So which is good because they're kind of just going to plow through this series. I think I can't remember how many issues this series had. There's one more? Yeah. They put a like the outer space in behind. Yep.
And then ROM looks like it's got like a little capsule, right?
Yeah, that's right. So go ahead to the next slide for this one so we can see the back cover.
Yes, boss.
There we go.
Danny, how dare you, Phil? Johnny Blaze is also in that story. He's got the Hellblazer gun. That thing is freaking awesome, man. Yeah, so this has not been collected in omnibus format. It's only been collected in Masterworks and now in Epic Collection. And they're putting them out. So, yeah. The Danny Ketch one they did rename, didn't they? It's just called Ghost Rider Danny Ketch. It's not Ghost Rider.
Right.
So I wonder if the next one will be like Danny Ketch, or I'm sorry, Ghost Rider Modern Era Epic Collection. And we do have a Ketch in April.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one. We
Curtis,
do have a Ketch. The one with Moon Knight on the cover, right?
Yeah, 81 issues for Ghost Rider. So where are we at now with this one? Number 50.
So 2 more volumes then, perhaps?
Yeah, they can knock it out into 5 volumes. Total 5 volumes. I still haven't purchased volume 1 and 2. I can't let them go out of print. Have they announced anything Spider-Man related? Yes. 2.
Oh, yes.
Spider-Man related things. Not sure if you're into them or not, but yeah. Or I'm about to drop a Venom on Phil. Yeah, Phil hasn't seen his Venom yet. Will Spirits of Vengeance be included in the Danny Ketch epics? How's that volume 2 mapped? Do you remember, Curtis? Or the one that's coming out in April? Or I guess I can look it up too.
I can look it up. Just a second here.
Yeah. Because Spirits of Vengeance plays a huge part in that story. Where the heck is it? Did it make it into the catalog? Siege of Darkness, right? That one?
Right.
So Siege of Darkness. Oh, wait. Siege of Darkness is in volume 2, though. Siege of Darkness is, oh gosh, it's issues 45 through 40, or 44 and 45. And it's got all the crossovers with the Spirits of Vengeance and Night Stalkers and the Dark Hole.
That's right. Yeah.
Siege, because that's that Siege of Darkness.
It's the Siege of Darkness. Yeah. So will Spirits of Vengeance be in there? That's the title that had Johnny Blaze, right? That was a joint title.
Dude, I mean, Ghost Rider was so popular, they had a spinoff, and there were 2. It was Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch in that same book.
I could see Spirit of Vengeance being maybe part of the Ghost Rider. This line here, carrying on Johnny Blaze's story. It could be like a volume 6 of this Ghost Rider line, rather than being a Danny Ketch one.
That's confusing, though, isn't it?
Why is it? Why? It's still Ghost Rider.
Yeah, but then you're gonna have Okay, if I was reading these things and I see Ghost Rider Volume 6 and I see Danny Ketch Volume... No, I don't agree with that, Curtis. I think you need to put it with the Danny Ketch volumes. Because if you don't put it with the Danny Ketch volumes, it's going to get confusing. At least for me. I don't know. I'm just trying to simplify things for people
But
reading.
as far as I remember, at a certain point, Danny Ketch leaves the book, and he's no longer in it.
Well, that's a spoiler. Yeah. But we'll always have a Spirit of Vengeance, and we'll always have a Ghost Rider. I'm not going to say who that Ghost Rider is.
But then shouldn't? But if it follows Johnny Blaze's story all throughout, shouldn't it be in the Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider epic line?
No, because he's no longer Ghost Rider. Danny Ketch is Ghost Rider. What?
But Ghost Rider is still in the book.
I wonder if this is the kind of discussions they have behind the scenes, like with the epic collections. Like, why would we put it there? I think it would be confusing. Like, you mean like a volume 6, right? No, I disagree. I still love you. I just disagree. Like that. I don't think that would be a wise move. I think putting them with Danny Ketch, putting Ghost Rider, and then putting some Spirits of Vengeance. I think that's how you map the books. They don't have to do Spirits of Vengeance. They can do their own epic collection because there was enough material for maybe 2, especially with all the crossovers. Spirits of Vengeance has Midnight team up as well. Do the modern era epics collect all of Bendis' run on Daredevil? That's where you're going to find it, yes. It co-starred Blazing.
It's not all out yet.
Well, not all of it.
Bendis' Daredevil's not all out yet.
What about when Ghost Rider gets to the modern era? That's when it's going to be called Ghost Rider Modern Era Epic Collection. So you'll have Ghost Rider Danny Ketch, and then Ghost Rider Modern Era Epic Collection. Or at least that's the way I would do it.
Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes Modern Era Epic Collection.
I can't believe you nearly spoil NFL Super Pro taking over as Ghost Rider. Very close. Sounds like
I didn't spoil anything. No one takes over Ghost Rider.
This should all just been the same Ghost Rider line. No. Curtis is making that argument. I'm okay with renaming it. I think it's a good idea. This is for old people like Phil, and then you got Danny Ketch for young hipsters like me. And then the Gen Zers can have Robbie Reyes. Gen Z, is that the next thing? Is Phil still here or he fall asleep? Where's the second classic ASM epic? How many more classic epics do we need for Amazing Spider-Man? Curtis is right, and Curtis is fired for that suggestion. The internet. Yeah, how many more epics do we need for the classic line of Phil?
We need volume 12, 13, and 14, and 16, plus everything after the Clone Saga stuff.
So we're about to close out Spider-Man. That's not a lot.
Yeah, I mean, if they do one per year, it's still 4 years out, but yeah, we're getting closer.
Huh. Okay. All right, can we move on?
So someone was asking, where's the classic Spider-Man? And it's coming out. It's called 9 Lives Has the Black Cat. We put it in our last announcements.
We're gonna go. Are we gonna go through a recap of the last announcements?
Sure, we can do that later. But let's talk about this one. This is the big one, I think, for this announcement.
This is huge. Huge. Why is this huge, Curtis?
Well, because we're finally reaching the Frank Miller era of Daredevil. Now, this is not the stuff that he wrote as well, but he was the artist here. Pardon?
Yeah. This is the very beginning.
Yeah. This is the very beginning. Roger McKenzie and Frank Miller on Daredevil.
So the next, oh my gosh, the next volume is going to be Frank Miller in Epic Collection, the book that I did.
No, I think the next volume is going to be Denny O'Neil, and then the volume after that will be Born Again.
Wait, what?
Isn't Miller's run broken?
Volume 9.
Oh, Volume 9, won't Volume 9 have the Denny O'Neil stuff?
Well, Roger McKenzie was writing the book, and then no. Wait. Volume 9 will have Frank Miller. Because this is the
Volume 10 have then.
Yeah, Miller was on the book for a while because Frank Miller took over the book with, I mean, the very first thing he did was the first appearance of Elektra, right? Like that was the very first book. So that's in here. That's 169.
Wait.
And then he stayed on the book for a while. So the next book will be nothing but Miller writing.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I'm leaving out Klaus Janson.
And then Denny O'Neil comes after that, then, because that stuff is still needs to be collected.
Yeah, that stuff has only been collected in a weird trade paperback. I can't remember the name of the trade. It's been collected in Masterworks, but it has not been collected in Epic or Omnibus format. So yeah, this is huge, man. This has the first appearance of Elektra. It has him writing the stories in there. This is a big one. Yes, that's it. Love Labor's Lost. That was the name of the trade paperback. Thank you all.
Right.
Yeah, and there's
So they're putting a what if issue in this one, which is unusual. They haven't really put what if issues in any of the Epic collections, and so that's pretty special, I think. And this is one of the best what if issues. What if I don't know? Should I say the spoiler? But what the
I know
title
the
is?
title is a big spoiler. You're like, man, Daredevil. This is awesome. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first of the classic lines that. Well, I mean, Chris Claremont's line, 17 years of X-Men doesn't count. But I'm talking about like the creator-centric stories like Walter Simonson's Thor, John Byrne's Fantastic Four, Roger Stern's Spider-Man that we actually got in an Epic collection. Daredevil by Frank Miller, right? Is that right? Is that the first one?
I think so. Yeah, it's definitely the first one to hit that sweet spot in the '80s that everybody's asking for.
Man, that is crazy. Electra Epic when? There is enough material, especially with her modern stuff. Oh, that's what if 28 is the Matt becoming Agent of Shield? I thought it was the other
Oh,
one too.
really?
No, he's right.
What?
Yeah, it is. Roger McKenzie left at 166. Thank you, Bruce. Yeah, so he's right. If that doesn't happen until afterwards, right? Because I
Oh,
don't
of
know what
course.
happens in the next
Right,
volume.
right, 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 right. Yeah, that actually timeline wise, that wouldn't be an appropriate place to put what if issue would have.
So
So
volume
that's
12,
weird.
which appeared already, has issues Daredevil 234 to 252. So going backwards, you could estimate when would be the Miller one. Yeah, that's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
The other what if would be in volume 9. And that one is done by Miller too. The one Curtis is referencing is issue 35.
Okay. There we go.
Thank you all for that. I'm glad I don't need to hunt down Marvel Masterworks Daredevil 14 and 15 anymore. Good. And much love to you, Ben. I saw that you got the book. Yeah, Hulk by Pat. That's okay. That is another creator-centric one. And so is the Mark Grunwald run on Cap. I don't know why I always think of like Walter Simonson Thor, John Byrne FF, and Frank Miller Daredevil. Maybe it was because they're writer-artist. That's why I think of them as like creator-centric type of stories.
Yeah.
All right. The trade dress. There you go. Coming out in September of 2025.
Yeah, volume 8 to Dare the Devil. We have just a few more volumes to close out this series. Once they get through volume 9, 10, and 11, then this Daredevil's finished all the way to Marvel Knights, which is the start of the modern era. So this is the book that's the out of the long running Marvel titles. This is the book that's the closest to completion, I think, other than like not even Captain America, because Captain America will do the Heroes Reborn stuff. Still, we still haven't got that.
Yeah, you're right. It will. And this is just a small reminder to smash that like button, please. And if you live in Europe and you're interested in purchasing any of the books we've talked about so far, check out waltzcomicshop.com, based out of Berlin, Germany. Flat shipping rates for 12 euros for all EU countries. Emails answered within 24 hours. And if you tell them Near Mint Condition sent you their way, all at the checkout, Near Mint Condition, all one word, you get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order of over 40 euros or more. And that's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for Omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ting, as my wife would say. All right. So the recap. January, March. What's this, Curtis? What'd you do here?
So this, I just included everything that from 2025. We don't have to show all these people. If you want, you can pause the video if you just want to see this. But let's show. Yeah, go to the next slide there. You can pause this one if you want to see what's coming out these months, and then let's go to the last slide. this is our recap for what we talked about today. Miles Morales, Spider-Man Modern Era Volume 2, Spider-Man No More, Young Avengers Modern Era 2, Dark Reign, ROM Volume 2, the original Marvel years, Fantastic Four 12, The Possession of Franklin Richards, Thor Modern Era 3, The World Eaters, and Star Wars Kanan Modern Era Volume 1, The Last Padawan. And then in, whoops, that's not supposed to say May, that should say September. Strike 5 for me.
Ernest, you were doing so good.
Daredevil 8, To Dare the Devil, Micronauts Original Marvel Years 2, Home Sweet Home World, Daredevil 3, or sorry, Ghost Rider 3, Death Race, Spider-Man, Deadpool Modern Era Volume 3, Road Trip, Generation X5 Family Business, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Homecoming, Amazing Spider-Man Modern 14, Big Time, and a reprint of X-Men Age of Apocalypse Volume 3, Omega. Yeah, well, you know what? It takes a lot of work to get all this, and no one's proofing me before we.
Hey, wait, are you throwing me under the bus? I didn't even say anything. The one book that we got to announce last round was the Miles Morales Volume 3.
It was scheduled for May.
Let's see, it's in the May one here.
I took it out because it's no longer in the schedule.
It is now scheduled for January of 2026. So that's where that book is going to be for the people that couldn't find it. And once we get, and one other thing you probably notice is that there is no reprints here for August and September. Those haven't been chosen yet. So once those have been chosen, I'll be happy to do this again and get with Curtis and hopefully get everything from, I guess we need October, November, December, and January of 2026. So don't lose hope in whatever book it is that you want. You know, they always seem to surprise people with a new series or reprinting something classic that you all wanted. There we go. There's some love for you, Curtis. You rock, Curtis. Is that your wife?
Oh.
No, that is Ben.
Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it.
No X-Men in 2025. What? At all? There's X-Force. Oh, you mean Uncanny. Let's see. Hold on a second. Dang it.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. I think that because in December this month we have God Loves Man Kills, and then we don't have anything else scheduled for this year yet, but we still have a few more months left of 2025. So I guess we'll get maybe we could get 2 back to back. It's possible. We'll get at least one, I'm sure. There's new X-Men. New X-Men is there in June.
We haven't seen any more volumes for Astonishing, have we? Or did we? No, we did. We got a volume.
Yeah. Volume 2 is coming out soon.
This is outrageous. You make a live stream without announcements without a warning. Oh, and hello. What's up, Joe? How have you been, man? Yeah, Uncanny, they usually save for the end of the year. So I kind of assume that's going to be November, December, whenever we get to announce it. Kind of disappointed there's no Rawhide Kid. I don't think they even finished that in Masterworks, did they?
No, the Westerns don't sell very well.
Where are the Spidey spin-offs? The
Spider-Man Deadpool
is in September, not May.
But we know that's not what you're talking about.
He wants Web of and
Spectacular.
Well, those are just now coming out in omnibus format, so give it some time since you epic jerks got. What did you all get first?
Big Time
before we got our omnibus. How did that happen?
Hey, you still have more Omni announcements to go. You could get a Big Time omnibus.
There is Spider-Man. I think I still have to announce some Spider-Man, and it's only for August and September. But I didn't see Big Time in there. Who knows? Maybe one day. All right. What is this? Omar and Curtis, how many Annihilation epics do you think there will be? Well, there's Annihilation Conquest. If they follow the Omnis, it would be Road to War of the Kings, and then Realm of the Kings. So 5. But the Omnis also
they'd include that all in Annihilation, or would they call it?
No,
War
it would be
Kings Epic Collection.
It's called Annihilation, right? So it would just be 2 epics of Annihilation, and then Annihilation Conquest would be another 2 epics. Yeah. Oof. Omar, gonna swear.
What Annihilation Conquest in the Annihilation line?
Please
possibly.
don't make guesses like that because you're gonna be disappointed. I want Captain America, Shield,
The
and
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Oh, yeah, there is no epic collection of classic Marvel, right?
That's right. Not yet.
This is a weak showing. A single maybe for me. That's all. 2025 really likes classic X-Men. I love reading these with anger and rage in my voice. X-Men, Hulk, and new classic lines. I'm so sorry, Dennis. Happy holiday. Punisher. Not
this time.
Oh yeah, no 2099 epics yet. I'm sure those will come. Seriously, I'm pretty sure those will come. Yep. Why Spidey or X-Men epics, especially the first epics, are not always in print? They were trying to, but I mean, this is another case of a publisher just things no outside of the Bible and maybe Watchmen. I can't believe I'm putting both of those books. Like nothing stays in print forever. Like it's impossible to do that because there's not an infinite amount of space in a warehouse. I mean, you're gonna lose money if you keep printing the book and there's like so many copies of it, right?
Well, and also they have they work with only certain printers. I mean, they could work with more printers, but the printers have a limited amount of time in their schedule to print all the books, the new comics as well as other collections and that stuff. So they have to work with the space and the availability of things as it comes up. So yeah, there's 400 epic collections. Not all of them are going to be able to stay in print. Unfortunately, that's just an impossible task.
Give it some time. It's been 10 plus years since the epic line started. It'll be dead when Marvel finally releases the Marvel Team Up Spectacular Spider-Man Web of an adjective list. Omar, omnibus question. I'm sorry, Curtis. Do you think realistic for Marvel to release an Alien Omnibus Volume 5 with their new material? I counted the pages of the trade paperbacks, about 900. Oh, yeah, when it's all said and done. I still want a Predator versus Aliens book, though. Need more Punisher, post-Clone Saga Spidey, and FF announcements. We had one FF announcement. Volume 12, that's big. Star Wars. I'm excited for a lot of this stuff. A Day Without Venom. Perfect. I wish they released.
Yeah, it is without Venom, and I don't think he even appears in any of these books.
That Save the Last Dance, Venom 3 did not do that well at the box office, I guess. When is Amazing Spider-Man Epic 3 and 7 reprints coming for the love of God? Were those voted in our top 20? I can't remember.
Well, I mean, Volume 3, Spider-Man No More, and Volume 7 is the death of Gwen Stacy, so I'm pretty sure that they'll always be asked for.
How about Exiles? We got a complete collection. I know. I remember asking David that. He was in a live stream, and he said, not right now. Yes, AVP. That would be so awesome. Watchmen, Bible. Okay. No, I did not say it's the same. I just said there's certain books that stay in print, and I just thought of those two.
Does that make Alan Moore God?
No, shut up. Don't say that. Jesus and Rorschach, same character, said, I did not say that. Don't take things out of... I hate the internet. There, you could quote me saying that. Watching the stream while stretching the spine of my brand new FF Volume 5. Now I need a Pedro Pascal variant. Now you need Volume 6. Omar's Chris Claremont's 16-year X-Men run, the longest any creator has spent on one title at the big two. Is it a record? Consistent? Yeah, I want to say yeah. Curtis? I mean, it broke like the years that Stan Lee and Jack were working on FF. It breaks all kinds of records. I can't think of anybody else. It's weird. Like Jason Aaron was on Thor for, I think, was it 7 years? And that's considered like a huge long streak. Dan Slott. Well, it depends, right? Dan Slott keeps coming back to Spider-Man.
Yeah, but it's not the same title, or he takes breaks. Chris Claremont was pretty uninterrupted. It was completely uninterrupted for that whole 16 years.
Yeah, it's a rarity. I don't think there's anybody that has come close. I do not like Martin. You know damn well. Don't you say that. I think, yeah, I don't think there's anybody that has come to be that close, right? Unless it's like a creator owner, a mangaka that's been working on the same book for decades. Yeah. No, not at the big two. Like that long of a streak. Yeah, I thought about like a creator-centric or I'm sorry, not creator centric, creator owned book. But he was saying the big two. I don't think so. I don't think people have come close. Bendis was on sole writer on Ultimate Spider-Man for 18 years, right? No, I think it was 10. Wasn't it 10 years? Curtis?
Well, 18 years? No, it was more
Okay,
like
Ultimate Spider-Man started in 2000, right? So if Ultimate Spider-Man started in 2000, when was his last issue? What issue was that? It's in the Miles Morales Omnibus Volume 2. That will be the last issue. Whenever that was published, that's how long Bendis was on the book. I don't think it was 18 years. Did it end in 28? Oh my God, wait. Did it end in 2018, Curtis?
no, it was like 2012 or something like that.
Okay, hold on. Let me double check. That is a good question. No, 240, was that it? Like, was that the last issue? Ultimate Spider-Man 240?
No idea.
Okay, if it was Ultimate Spider-Man 240 and that's his final issue, that was published in 2018.
Oh, okay.
He might be right. Yeah, Peter David did 12 on Hulk. That can't be right. Like, okay, here we go. Yeah, Bendis wrote Spider-Man 240. His last Miles issues 218. So I guess Bendis takes the cake for the big two over Claremont.
How about Mark? What about Mark Grunwald? How long was his run on Captain America?
That was 10 years. What
Okay.
like David's was a little longer. Now, does it still, and I still think it counts, right? Even though it's another character, even though it's like the series got restarted a few times. Yeah, see, I thought about that. I thought about the loopholes. Like, well, the series did get restarted, right? So does that still count?
How about Marv Wolfman on New Teen Titans?
Wolfman, well, remember, and then he left the book, though. That was the thing.
Oh, okay.
So his is up there, too. And remember, we're talking about the big two, not Independent or Image. But that was a great question. And it had me thinking, so, man, 18 years, that's crazy. And I don't hear enough people talk about how long that was, though.
So I know Larry Lieber was on, this is not the same thing, but Larry Lieber was on the Spider-Man newspaper comic strip for like 30 years.
But that, I mean, it sort of is, though, right? Like, it's still a comic and it's still a job that you're doing 30 years of one character. Okay. Great question. Claremont went uninterrupted on the same title. But, I mean, if you think about it, Bendis went uninterrupted on the same character. And then, well, I don't want to spoil what happens, but there's another character named Miles who's also Ultimate Spider-Man. And I'm not even the biggest Bendis fan, but I got to give credit where credit is due. If he really wrote from 2000 to 2018 on Ultimate Spider-Man, one version or not, whether you call the book Ultimate Spider-Man or Ultimate Comic Spider-Man, it's the same story. Then yeah, Bendis, I think, is 18 years.
Wow.
We have to come back on the Punisher line. No new volume since 3 or 4 years. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I think it has been 3 years since the last one. But I think last year we got a reprint. I'm hoping for the Hero Reborn return content soon. Like Fantastic Four, have we not? Yeah, I don't think we had any, right? Fantastic Four, Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor. Yeah, none of those are out. Are there still more omnibus announcements this round? Yes, there's going to be one on Sunday, and I got to record others, but I'm waiting on some covers. So
those covers.
Yeah, because they haven't even chosen who the covers are. So even if I film, I can't like say, and this cover is by so-and-so, because I don't know who the cover is going to be by. Larry Hama and G.I. Joe. Although the loophole there is that it started at Marvel, went over to Image, went over to IDW, and back at Image. 315, 16.
But it's still a singular voice all of those years.
And it's still the same character. So I think that, and since it started at Marvel, we can say it is the big two. So that might be the answer, Dr. Zero. I think you got it. Then again, I'm sure somebody's going to come in the comment section going, actually, hold on. Kurt Swan's first Superman was issue 51. His last was 723, not consecutively, but still, that is a huge, huge run, though. Like,
Yeah, I mean, there are other examples that if you go outside of the big two, like Carl Barks was doing Donald Duck and Uncle Scrooge comics for like 25 to 30 years, and Charles Schultz did Peanuts for
yeah,
50
yeah,
years.
that's
Yeah,
creator-owned stuff and independent
yeah.
stuff, right? So, the most tragic part is Claremont would have gone longer if Marvel didn't favor Jim Lee over him. And even more tragic, Jim Lee left over a year later. But, I don't think there were any... I don't think there was animosity between both of them. Because, I mean, within, like, less than a year time after all that had happened, it was, hey, here's the Huntsman story. Hold on one second, Curtis. Take over for a second.
Okay. We what am I supposed to talk about? X-Men? Um, where's our Team America and US 1 books? You know what? There are some really obscure books that I would love them to do just a Marvel Rarities line where it's just the weird stuff like this. I don't know if it would sell very well, but just throwing all the odds and ends. Um, but now Fantagraphics has actually taken up some of that, and they have a line called Lost Marvels, and there is a Howard Chaykin book that's coming out full of just obscure Marvel comics that Howard Chaykin did, that Marvel obviously doesn't have any interest in reprinting because they are licensing it out to Fantagraphics to do. So I think that's pretty cool.
Savage Dragon is on 275. It is crazy to see just how many Marvel books are being published at other publishers too. Dude, I'm aware of too. But yeah, it's 275, and he's almost there. Yeah, I think Dave Sims was 300. But then if we look at things like Case Closed, right? How many years they've been working on that? Obligatory complaint about lack of Iron Man Epic collections. We still got October, November, December, January, 4 more months. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Yes, and Fantagraphics is doing the Tower of Shadows pretty soon. Captain Britain should get an Epic line. Spider-Man Big Time was already collected in complete collection. Same size book, same issues. Correct.
It was exactly the same.
They've been rebranding those complete collections with modern epics. If only Claremont got to write his Wolverine origin story, Sabretooth's his dad. Oh my gosh. There are things that Claremont wanted to do that I was like, oh, that would have been really cool. And one of the things was Enemy of the State. But that's another story. Omar, do you think they'll make a separate modern era Uncanny and adjectiveless X-Men lines? Oh gosh, that is such a good question.
Adjectiveless turns into New X-Men, and so that has its own line already.
Yeah, but the way they've been collecting them, it's like Uncanny and X-Men are together. No modern era. No. Just two. I think we do have modern eras in here. Is the Thor World Eaters Fractions run? Yes, it is. It is Fractions run. So that was the recap, and that was this round of announcements. And I want to thank my wonderful co-host Curtis from the Epic Marvel Podcast. We will be back in some way, even when Curtis is on vacation. If I get like, hey, here's the list of reprints, or hey, here's this, I will drag him out of the.
I'll be there.
Christmas gathering in the middle of opening presents to come and join me. Because it's worth it. Watchmen in the Bible are the only things in print. I need that on a shirt. Man, sometimes the internet. DC's doing genre lines, hoping Marvel does some too. Yeah, we were talking about the sci-fi story that they're doing.
I think that I don't think we're going to see that. I think we'll see publishers like Fantagraphics take up that stuff. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Marvel allowed Fantagraphics to license like their Western Rawhide Kid and all that kind of stuff.
They'll definitely just reskin the thick trades, collecting Casey and Austin's run. What they'll do after that is the question and what they'll call it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Live from vacation, Curtis. Yeah, we'll drag them out, man. We ain't got time to open presents. We got to talk about epics. Have you figured out exactly where the cutoff point for modern and classic even is? It's about 10 years. It's like 10 years for, like, seriously, there's about 10 years. Because some stories like not Spider-Gwen, I'm sorry, Spider-Girl, right? Spider-Girl is a modern
Is a
era,
modern.
but it started in 1998.
Yeah, and it's also Daredevil Modern Era Volume 1 is Guardian Devil, the
Mhm.
beginning of Marvel Knights. It depends on the title. I think he might be referring to X-Men because he's talking about
Oh,
the X-Men conversation in the chat there. And I
new
think the
I
cutoff,
would say
I
new
still think,
X-Men and New X-Men is that's the
yeah,
that's the
that's
modern.
the cutoff. And Joe Casey, is it Joe Casey who did the Uncanny
The
at the time?
Poptopia? Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's the starting point for modern X-Men.
Yeah, he was doing Poptopia with Ian Churchill at the time. So thank you all so much for tuning in live. Thank you to all the people that were here. Smash that like button on the way out. Check out Curtis's wonderful YouTube channel and his wonderful Facebook group. If you do social media, if you don't, more power to you. I will be back. I have a video coming out this afternoon. I've got videos every day, and I'll be back live Saturday with my 11 a.m. Q&A, and then I'm doing a claim sale at 6 p.m. And usually with the claim sale that we do with Nick from Dynamite and Dynamic Forces, what we do is we donate whatever we make out of it to some kind of charity. But this year, it's going to help pay for my dad's funeral because
Oh,
that
nice.
was expensive and
Yep.
it sucks. But I don't want my mom to pay for any of that stuff. The room tour will be next year because I don't have it in me. I'm not all there yet,
Got
man.
a lot going on.
Yeah, after losing my dad, it's just been nothing but a haze. And yeah, I'm not there yet. So I promise it will be early in 2025 though, along with the manga tour. But again, I just want to thank you all for joining us. I love talking to my friends. I love talking about comics. And even if it's things that I don't 100% want, like, it's just cool because there's always somebody out there that wants the things we're talking about. Even if it's things I already have in omnibus format, somebody out there doesn't have or has never read it and is reading it for the first time. So that's it, everybody. Curtis, one more time, where can people find you, my wonderful friend?
EpicMarvelPodcast.com. You can find complete, hopefully complete guide. I got to update it now for the Epic collections on there. And my spreadsheet is linked there too. And you can find me if you look for the Epic Collection Facebook group, Epic Collection Discussion, Speculation, Admiration, and Obsession Facebook group.
You remember what it's called?
And yeah. And I'm gonna do a little after party over on my YouTube
Oh,
channel after
good.
this.
People are asking
And
about
so
that.
I've got the link there. Oh yeah, yeah. James has the link there. I scheduled it because I didn't know how long this was going. I scheduled it for 11, and I don't know if they'll let me start early. But if they do, I'm gonna jump on right after this, and then I have one Epic collection, a new one to unbox on the
Oh,
stream as
nice.
well. And this is if I'm right, this is a brand new line that's starting in January. So we'll see what it looks like on the inside.
Cool. Cool. Everybody, stay healthy and safe. Much love. And we are